You've heard it countless times. Trump is literally Hitler, or some variation. And this kind of rhetoric is the kind that only appeals to the lowest common denominator, progressives. And I wanted to do a short video showing how amazingly stupid this cancerous mindset is. First, we have to ignore the literally part, because when you use literally wrong, I want to literally crack your skull with a book. If you don't understand, I'd let you read that book after I hit you with it. In other words, read a goddamn book, kids. So, back to main point, what makes a Hitler? Wow, look at that. A handy list of things that easily identifies one of the most famous mass murderers in history. Fascism is a political ideology that focuses primarily in nationalism under an authoritarian or totalitarian state. I know a lot of mental midgets out there will want to call it right-wing or even left-wing, but it's neither. It's about a populace marching in lockstep under what amounts to a dictatorship and loving every moment of it. Now, Hitler already gains the first point because he was a goddamn fascist, and Trump is doing things within the confines of a democratic republic. Read a fucking book. I have this twitch under my right eye. It goes off every time I'm exposed to alarming levels of stupidity. It's like my spidey sense and kryptonite rolled into one. And when I have the great misfortune of reading the chicken scratchings or hearing the nasally voice of a moron who doesn't understand that Nazi meant National Socialist, that twitch goes into overdrive and I fear losing sight in that eye. Socialism is a social system that forces a bunch of chumps to eat dirt. Seriously. That's pretty much what it comes down to. When you have a system that means all production and distribution are owned and operated by society as a whole, or even part of it, instead of a focus on individual rights and ownership, you have one generation before long lines for moldy bread and mass murder. Trump does not want people's businesses taken from them and given to hippies. Hitler wins yet another point. Nationalism is just a way of saying people really support their country. Yeah, that's about it. It can go to extremes, sure, like when people consider the nation so superior that all others should be destroyed and enveloped. But the people of France don't seem ready for war quite yet. That being said, both generally get a check mark for this, and it's not even a bad thing. Sorry, conspiracy theorist. Hitler really did try to kill all the Jews, but the reality is that they were never going to succeed, and Hitler knew that. But they were a great scapegoat, so why not go for the gold medal? Trump, on the other hand, said that Americans, all of us, including the not white ones, come first. Somehow, with the incredibly weak progressivist mind that has somehow warped this into Trump hates the Mexicans and will kill them all. Yeah. Hitler wins yet another point, bringing us to, I believe if I'm counting correctly, 4 versus 1 on the scoreboard. I voted for Trump. I didn't wake up on November 19th and say to myself, hey, I'm a reasonable and educated person. Let's hang us a Negro. I'm here to tell you almost everyone I know voted for Trump. And we don't give shits equivalent to the atomic weight of helium what your race is. Unless you do, then you're a racist. Hitler, on the other hand, was a big fan of racial purity and using eugenics as a means to that end. Trump has yet to reveal a master plan for the white race, so I'm pretty sure the Stormfront guys can just admit they're only happy that they don't have a black man as president anymore. If you're a reasonable person, you can read and digest and properly understand, and maybe even use a bit of that near-extinct introspection when facing someone else's ideas. In the case of Nazi Germany, there was a lot of stuff we can learn from, good and bad. One of those good things is how to dress. I mean, those guys knew fashion and how to throw a parade. I mean, look at this. Bask in it. Now look at this. How does a man with his kind of wealth keep buying such ill-fitting suits? Tailors are still around, Mr. President. Hire one. Hitler gains yet another point. The left in our country has decided that Trump is a poor orator, except when it suits their ideology, but if you're familiar with them, then a duh at the hypocrites is in order. Trump is, in fact, known for being a stellar orator that sounds borderline retarded when transcripted. I'll grant them that. Rarely does he finish a sentence without repeating points or seemingly using punctuation where it doesn't belong. But then again, that's how people generally speak. Hitler screamed a lot of things people wanted to hear into a microphone, but he did so with an aspiring Broadway actor's level of passion. That being said, I think we have to give them both points here. President Trump was elected by a legitimate electoral process in a republic. Hitler was elected by an illegitimate democratic process. If you're not familiar, Hitler used hired goons and generally angry guys to beat up and kill opposition, making him basically the only candidate worth looking at. Hillary, for her part, tried to buy the presidency. So, as far as giving this point to the bad guys, Hillary and Hitler both get one. Our incumbents' words and actions have been clear as far as globalism is concerned. That's not necessarily the same as invading foreign nations with the intent on taking their land permanently as the Third Reich did, but globalism is the kinder, gentler power takeover of the 21st century. So Hillary, in an unsurprising turn of events, takes another point alongside Hitler. Yeah, I went there. I couldn't help myself. Just, wow. Now look at that final tally. Hitler definitely wins this round. Damn, the leftist. We're glad you came and played. Sorry you lost so big, League. And to show you our appreciation, you get a consolation prize. Tell them what they won, Bob. For your participation in a democratic republic process and bitching and complaining it didn't go your way, you get a one-way ticket to Canada, one Justin Trudeau action figure, a lifetime supply of either patchouli oil or Facebook Safe Space credits, and last but certainly not least, your very own checklist stacking everything in your favor.